Hi, I'm dark fantasy author Allison Paige, and today we're going to be talking about my book, After the Bees. After the Bees is a dark fantasy dystopian, and it follows Leah after the fall of humanity and the last of the bees have disappeared, and a demon apocalypse ensues. She's been hiding in the wilderness for 3 years to escape their horrors when Raum, a demon who keeps her alive and unmarked, finds her, decides that he likes her, and he's going to keep her and force her on his journey to become a god. So, After the Bees has been described as The Walking Dead with demons instead of zombies. I truly can't attest to that because I'm not a big zombie fan, so I've never personally seen The Walking Dead. I watched, I think, the first episode. I was like, nope, that's enough for me. And I never tried watching it again. But I hear that a lot from my readers that that is what it reminds them of, as After the Bees does take place several years into the future. Leah is a blade wielding baddie, and Raum is a charismatic narcissistic villain who is going to try to manipulate her. This is a true enemies to lovers, but let me be very, very clear. After the Bees is not a romance. The story is not for the faint of heart. It does show the absolute worst in people. It shows the horrors that somebody has survived and what they are willing to do to survive when they have nothing left to lose and they feel that they have no hope left on the horizon. So, a question that I get pretty often is, Paige, where do you get your ideas from? And After the Bees is actually based off of a dream or nightmare that I had back in 2018. And then After the Bees was later published in December 2019. I can still remember that nightmare to this day. The details are very vivid, and I toned down After the Bees quite a bit because that dream was pretty horrifying. But I don't know, it stuck with me. It still has stuck with me to this day. And I've always been a big animal lover, activist for all sorts of wildlife and preservations. And I was just thinking one day, what would be the worst thing that could happen if all of the bees, all the pollinators, like actually disappeared? And it just hit me that a demon apocalypse would be really, really bad. That was worst case scenario for me. And since, that nightmare is in the back of my mind, it just kind of a light bulb went off and Leah's story began. Now, while I had had this nightmare and I had an idea of a story that I wanted to write, I wasn't planning on doing anything with it. I was working at a law firm at the time, and my coworker, now good friend, her and I were talking. We were exchanging different story ideas when I told her mine, and she just kind of had this look on her face, and she said, "You should write that. I've never heard of anything like the stories you're telling me. Why don't you write them? Why don't you do something with them?" And so I decided to take that advice to heart. And here we are years later. I am now working on my fifth book. Some of the things that I just want to add before wrapping up this video is that if you're not familiar with the dark fantasy genre, know that it does have horror elements in it, which means it's probably going to be spooky. There's probably going to be scenes that are going to make you a little uncomfortable. Um, there are scenes that I wrote that made me uncomfortable because, believe it or not, horror freaks me out. I am a big ol' scaredy cat, but for some reason, I'm pretty good at writing it. That being said, I do have several trigger warnings, and they are located on my website, which I will link below, as well as links for where you are able to purchase copies of your own. After the Bees was so much fun to write. I hope that you will give it a chance. It is the first book in the Revelation series, and it does have a sister series called The Hymn of the Sun and Moon, and that first book is The Apostasy, which is another book in series that I will be talking about at a later date. If you've made it this far, thank you. This is my first vlog or YouTube video, so I do ask that you be a little kind to me in the comments. But if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I will check in with you soon, and I hope you have a great night.